Alright, so if you are looking like I was to remove the inner door plastic, this is for a 2011 F-150 SuperCab, which has the kind of backwards opening door here. Again, mine's a 2011. You could look up online if yours isn't a 2011. They run several years that are pretty much the same. So in order, this is how I took it apart. First, started with this little piece here. As you can see, by the way, I've already taken apart and fixed my problem. I had a door that was jammed. A little bit later in the video here, I'm going to show you this guy right here had a part. My bottom wasn't releasing. It was just a cable. So if you have that same issue, keep watching. It was a simple fix. So this right here, just use a flathead screwdriver, pop straight out. Just kind of do it carefully so you don't bust any of the grooves off. It should pop right off. And then that piece is done. Then for this, you just got your T50 hex bolt. And by the way, all you need is the T50 hex bolt. Get out of the sun here. A 10mm socket, a 1/4 inch socket, and then I also had this, needed this because my door was actually trapped shut, and I'm going to show you how there's one underneath there. I needed the extension to be able to get into it, but that's all you need is the T50 hex bolt, 10mm, and then the 1/4 inch with your socket, and a flathead screwdriver is what I use to pop everything out. So this pops out. T50 here, I have it already done again already. This comes out and can just hang. This plastic piece then, just carefully get in behind it with a screwdriver. It just pops straight out. It'll release down here, as you can see there. So that piece is off. Same thing over here. This piece is just popped in, pop it out, pops off the bottom. Again, no screws or anything for these. They're just sitting out. Now once you have that off, you can see, and again, mine's already off, there's 1, 2, 3 down here, and then 4 and 5 that are what you need your 1/4 inch socket for. Now these on the outside have these little plastic pieces here. They just slide in and click in. To take them off, I just used a flathead screwdriver, just pop them out and then pull them up out. As you can see, you might break off the bottom if you just pop it out and try to rip it out. You should just pop off the top and then just pull it out, and you'll do that for both those. And now they're out. So take those 2 off, 1 down there, these 2 off, and that's all done. Now this here, the actual door handle, if you will, the plastic piece, kind of just, well, I'm sorry, after, remove my belt here, just take a flathead screwdriver in there, pop this out, this cover pops out, and it will expose 2 of these, which are just 10mm. They're in there, holding that in there. Unscrew both of those, and then I got a little ahead of myself. Then this just kind of pops loose up top. Just kind of took a little while to wiggle it out of the bottom. The bottom's a little bit more kind of a better grip. Pop it out, and then it's completely separated, so it's just hanging there. So we got all 5 of those 1/4 inch. Got these 2 10mm out. Now you don't technically have to disconnect the power here for the plug for your window. Mine's the power windows, but I knew I was going to have to take the whole door panel off, so all I did, flathead screwdriver in there, gently picked up the side, pops right up, and then I just disconnected this. Just press the little lever there, tab, kind of shake it, pull it out, pop that out. So now whenever you're ready, don't just rip this out. I'm going to show here in a moment. Whenever you pull the top out, excuse me, pop it, you want to pick up a little and pull it out. So pull this. Let me show you, it's tough with one hand. I just kind of set it back in. You kind of have to lift and pull, and you lift it up and then kind of pull it out. And I'll show you why you need to lift up. So again, once we have all those bolts loose, these right here, you can see they kind of set down in. So whenever you just pop the top off, once you get those 2 out, you just are popping this top part off, and then you want to lift up and gently pull out so you clear. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 different kind of grooves that it's just kind of setting down in. So you have to pull it up and out, and it just pops right off. And then the seat belt's just hanging there. You don't do anything with that. And then here again is the door handle, and that piece right there is what failed me. That's what it looks like now. So keep watching here. I kind of show you if you had the same problem as me. I had a door that was locked at the bottom. That's all it was that 1 wire just popped off. So that's it. Pretty simple. Hope this helps you out if you're trying to find a video to get apart the inside of your SuperCab rear door. So if you're someone like me and had a SuperCab that would not open, the rear door that is. This is the inside after the door panel's off. You can see the only thing left still hanging on is this right here, the door handle itself. And the issue that I seem to have with why my door wouldn't release, the top seemed to release, the bottom wouldn't, the door, it just won't budge. You turn this over, you can see here there's two cables. One, the black one, is pulling the top. The bottom one, the white one here with the plastic tip, is disconnected. So as you can see, when I pull it, it is not grabbing and pulling. So it seems like I just need to slide the cable back in, make sure there's a little ball on the inside of this that holds it there so that it should pull and release. You can see there it is. That's the bottom one. That's why my door wasn't releasing. So if your door isn't releasing at the top or the bottom, that might very well be your very simple issue. It might be some other things, but that might be it. So there's what the inside looks like. The only thing we had to unplug is the power windows here. Show how to do that whenever we put this back together. And the seat belt, just a T50 hex bolt, comes right off and then it just hangs right there. So that's what it looks like on the inside. So just to show again, my rear door on the passenger side would not open, and that indeed was it. It was that simple. This cable right here had just popped down to where whenever the lever was pulled, it wasn't grabbing and pulling the bottom. That simple. All I did was kind of take my tool, my wrench, grabbed it, slid it back on. Now I'm concerned that it just doesn't seem like a good design, if you will. It's just hanging there. Both of them are, and they are grabbing. I've opened and closed the door different times. You can see they're both pulling. They don't have to pull much. So I'm going to take a zip tie. We had smaller ones. This is a big one, but I'm going to cut it. I'm going to run under this, over this centerpiece, and then under this, and I just want to pull the cables just a tiny bit up, so that I assume the reason why this came off is the door was shut hard and it just popped off, and it's barely hanging on there now. So I'm going to put this all back together and the same thing happens. So I'm going to see if I can do this, and then I'll just cut the excess and still not have it pulled too much that the door is hanging open. If I have this too tight pulling these, it's going to be pulling both cables and the door is going to hang open. So we're going to see if this will work to kind of solidify it, but that was it. The door opens just like it should. Beautiful. So here's my zip tie, and this is probably all the tighter I'll get it. Again, I went underneath and then just used needle nose pliers to grab it, pull it up over this plastic centerpiece, and then under this one, and then pull it tight. And if you have a smaller, thinner one, I would probably use that. We ran out of them. I'm just going to cut this one like right here, and it's going to be tucked behind this enough that, as you can see, it's not going to do any sort of restriction. Now at first I thought it might be hanging them up too much, but I want to show you, this is how it'll sit in the door. Just sits in between the plastic, and when you shut it, and it opens, and you shut it, and it's solid, both are grabbing, and it opens. And if you see right now, it looks like maybe it's a little hung up. That bottom white piece there, the little ball or whatever that is, should be a little bit closer back. But if you watch when I shut it, and this is what I'm concerned in, that actually, it's tough to see here. See if I can get the camera. I'm kind of blocking it. It actually slides back in, and that plastic piece I just put on there, my zip tie, is actually keeping the ball from falling down. So I think it's doing exactly what I want to do. So I don't know if you need to do this, but I've shut this door about 30 times. Again, pull it, open up, it'll sit like this. You shut the door, you have to shut it hard enough. That little bit of a jar pretty much slides that piece back to where it should be, and my zip tie is making sure it doesn't pop out of the front. So I'm going to leave it like that. Again, door's stable and solid. Seems to be working just how I wanted it to. I'm just going to clip that and put it all back together. All right, and one last thought. As you're putting everything back together, again, it's like a puzzle. Just go backwards from how you took it apart. But whenever you're putting this big piece on, make sure you have all of the different pieces that have to go in and slide down, as it should be a kind of a perfect flush kind of piece here as it clicks back in, and then you just tighten down each of those 5 nuts, including the 10 here, 10 millimeter bolts rather there. But you want to do all of that after you make sure that they're all in. I had one here that was kind of hung up. I had to unscrew them all and then make sure it was in, clamp it down. Perfect fit now, so should be good.